Hey guys, today I want to talk about return on investment versus consistency in your training. And when I talk about return on investment, I'm not necessarily talking about just the financial membership that you pay, but also the time you spend and the effort you spend in your training versus the consistency of showing up regularly. Now, I had Bronte draw me up a nice little bar graph of what this might look like. We've got arbitrary representation on the y-axis here of health, fitness, and strength. And then we have our timeline of roughly 7 months here on the x-axis, and a representation of the consistency in training, 3 times a week, 1 time a week there, for example. What we often see, before I just jump into what this looks like and why this is important, is that particularly over the Christmas period, everyone takes a couple of weeks off, which is pretty normal. But then they end up taking an extra week or 2 off because they just don't quite feel like they're ready to get back into the swing of things. And this, unfortunately, is actually where we end up seeing those beloved members that we have, and it hurts us the most, decide that they aren't motivated to keep training anymore. When in actual fact, it's not motivation that's stopping them, it's just the consistency having disappeared that is stopping them. 1, from feeling like they're motivated, but 2, they've also lost some of the results, and 3, they've lost the peripheral adaptations that make them feel fit and strong, so it causes fear in them on returning and anxiety for a lot of people. And this, I think, is one of the hardest things as trainers that we witness, and we witness it every year. In fact, we're already witnessing it to some degree. And we want you guys to take this message away and realize that it's very easy to stay consistent over these Christmas periods, very easy to stay consistent over difficult work periods, and very easy to stay consistent even while you're on holidays just enjoying yourself. So let's have a quick look at what can happen with inconsistency in your training. You kick off, you've got a month, 3 times a week of training. Well, you're doing everything we're talking about. You're a bit sore maybe as you've just started. Month 2, still going, you're starting to feel less sore, you're starting to add a bit more weight, you figured out how to do a kip of some sort. Month 3, you've put a bit more weight on the barbell, you've lost a few kilos, you're feeling fantastic, everything's going well, and then suddenly you get a bit busy. There's a big project, takes you out for 2 weeks, and then you're not super motivated, you're tired, you want to rest and recuperate, which is fair and is definitely necessary. But you take a month off. But the thing with your body is it's not like a computer game. You can't just save the progress and come back to it. Within a month, you can lose 80–90% of the peripheral adaptations that you've gained in the previous 3 months of training, which puts you back almost to square one from where you started. And I know that sounds demoralizing, but hey, the good news is you can spend a month training 2 to 3 times a week again, and you can start to see those gains and improvements. But then month number 6 comes, you're losing a bit of motivation because you're like, oh man, I can't do what I was doing here because of this. And so it's a bit of a bummer. And you stop coming in because it doesn't feel like you're ready to do it. You don't feel like you're making the gains you want to, when it just comes down to the consistency. You finally have a chat to a coach, they talk you into coming back again, you get your mojo back 2 to 3 times a week, month number 7, and boom, return on investment, you're at the same level you started at, simply because you didn't stay steady across the entire 6 to 7 months. You see, you don't need to make huge jumps in your progress as you go along. You don't need to be adding 5–10 kilos every week. If you just added 1 kilo a week to your barbell, if you just practice an extra pull-up each week, if you just spend an extra 30 seconds trying those double unders or sitting on the rower at a slightly faster pace than you did the previous week before, you'll see steady incremental increases across a year. And lo and behold, you'll be this person that people talk about saying, I wish I could be like them, I wish I could do what they did, when all you've done was just show up, done the work. And when you felt unmotivated or you're working really hard, you still showed up, you just kind of went through the paces a little bit, made sure that you stayed on track and stayed consistent. The last thing we want to see is you guys make all these improvements across a year, 6 months, however long it is you are with us, and then feel like you're unmotivated, lose that consistency, and actually end up finishing off worse, or back where you started and came to us for help in the first place. Our whole goal is to help you, and this is why we have our bingo, this is why we have the holiday workouts, this is why we have those weekly check-ins where we follow you up and ask where you guys have been. We want you to succeed. Our whole mission is to see you guys succeed and take your health and fitness forward so that you can continue to play with your kids, enjoy your time at the beach, take up hobbies like surfing or rock climbing, or just go and join a run club and hang out, even playing soccer on the weekend like all the Welsh and British boys in the morning. I'm not really sure how to end this video on that note, and so I'm just going to tell you that that's where I was at with trying to finish it, that we want you to be consistent. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the gym over the Christmas period and the January holidays. Keep keeping on track and working steadily towards your goals and just maintaining that consistency.